Hello and welcome to the Amy Edwards Show. I'm your host, Amy Edwards, and it's just me today. That's it. I am releasing my course today, and so I wanted to do a solo episode to kind of talk about that, but it ended up, of course, as life does, now it ends up being about something bigger. You know, the course is about creating a system to reverse aging fast and create a new radiant you, right? But it's all really these inner things that I do that I talk about on the show, right? All the habits that I talk about, the meditation, the pleasure practice, all those are the bigger ones, but it's tons of like little things that I do too to keep myself feeling good. So as of course, you know, if you listen to the other one that I did when I put out my free course, you know, I lost all my content and it was basically life saying like, do you really mean it that you're putting this out? And I feel like I just get these big hits of challenges when I do something. And it's like, can I really walk the walk of overcoming fear? Can I really walk the walk of feeling good and bouncing back? So what I'm going to talk about today is creating a system for bouncing back, because that is what I've noticed in my own life as I'm putting this course out. Like, yes, it's about that new radiant you, and that is a byproduct of our own inner happiness and how we not react, but how we are in any situation, like our beingness in any situation. And man, is it challenging. So that's what I want to talk about, because I have the challenges too. Okay. So this is about the power of a system. And that's where I'm at, like in real time right this second, because here I am, I'm like, I'm trying to get my course out, right? And so last week I get sick. Then the kids need things. Like the week before, you know, they had 4 days off school, and it's really hard for me to get anything done when they're around. And I had to take care of them and make meals for everyone. So it's just kind of one thing after another as I'm trying to get this done and keep my chin up and keep going, right? And so I have to keep leaning on my own systems, the systems that I've created, the system that's in this course, all the things I do. So cut to yesterday, I am hustling. I'm making sure everything's edited, making sure everything's put up on Teachable right, and making sure I've got all the additional things like PDFs and all that. And Justin is leaving for Africa today. And so he needs, you know, help with things, doing stuff. He's got all these demands, like last minute things, because I'm going to Africa too in a few weeks, right? Well, actually, I guess in almost a month. And so I don't know anything. So I'm asking him questions too and realizing, oh shoot, I don't know, you know, about my visa. I don't know what my phone's going to be like, you know? So I'm having to figure out these questions too. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's just all these little demands. And then his mom and grandma came in town, which was wonderful, but they wanted to see him. So I wanted to take time out for that. So it's just, you know, life happens, I guess is the point. And so I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. One of the things I was playing with recently at the beginning of this month was paying bills. And I did a TikTok about this, was paying bills and sending them out with love. And so I decided to send my rent check. That was the first one that I did it with. So like right before the ice storm, January 30th, I send my rent check. As I'm putting it in the mailbox, I do Reiki on it. I pray over it. I bless my landlord. I bless the agents. I do the whole thing. I command so much love and put it into that rent check, and I send it, right? I did have a little thing going off like, should I send it in this mailbox that's right down the street? Because it's not like the post office. But I was like, nah, they always pick it up here. It's fine. You can already see where this is going, right? And so anyway, I noticed that my rent check hasn't gone through, right? It's been like 9 days or something like that into February 8th or 9th. And I get an email from the agency that handles my place, my rent and stuff. And they're like, we haven't received your rent check. You're going to go owe all these late fees. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I mailed it early. I sent it with love. I sent it with all these good intentions. And I was just dumbfounded. I was like, and they're like, if you expedite us a check today, then we won't make you pay the late fees. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I write a new check. I hustle to the post office. I pay extra to overnight it. It gets there. The next day she calls and she says, we got your original check too. Do you want me to tear one of these up? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and I feel vindicated. I wasn't lying, And so they're like, right, you weren't lying. So anyway, so that all is fine. I see on my bank account, the check goes through. Great. So last night, Justin's preparing to go. I'm working on the course, feeling pretty good, feeling like, okay, I'm going to get this done and all that. And cause this means a lot to me. And I get an email and they're like, your check bounced and you're going to owe like all these other fees, like an extra $1,000. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, okay, I go look at my bank account. I kind of freak out, right? Because I an extra $1,000. I'm like, no way. And so I go look at my bank account. The check has gone through. There's no bouncing. There was money in the bank. So I'm like, what? I feel like I'm doing these systems. I sent that check with love. Why? I'm like, why is this happening? Why? So I have a miniature breakdown. Actually, I don't know if it was miniature. And I'm just like, this is too much pressure. And I'm just kind of overwhelmed. And Justin says to me, maybe this, because I'm like, why would this happen? And he says, maybe this is happening because you are supposed to see if you really mean it about that love you sent it off with. Can you still love in the hard spaces? Can you still love when things go wrong? When you are maybe accused of something that you didn't do? When things aren't working out? And I was like, oh, that hits. That hits. So this morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? Right. I told them everything and they were actually really kind. They were like, we're going to work it out. We're going to get to the bottom of it. And she was really nice. And I was really grateful. And so anyway, this morning I'm like, I'm going to believe in myself. I know, that I'm doing all these things, that I'm working to live authentically and honestly. I'm putting out good content. I'm believing in myself, blah, blah, blah. And so I have this very prescient deck that I love, that I've talked about, the divine, what is it called? Divine Gratitude, I think it's called. And I draw a card. It is always on the money, right? And what do I draw today? Because I've been thinking like, I'm going to believe in myself. I am here for this. And I draw delusion. I'm like, are you kidding me? So now I'm delusional on top of all this. So I'm like, what am I going to choose to believe? And Justin's like, I'm about to leave for Africa literally in a few hours. He's like, I don't want to spend my last few minutes here with you in this headspace. I'm like, that's, totally understandable. I get it. Right. I don't want you to either. I'm not going to see you for like 3 weeks. So 4 weeks. And so anyway, so I'm like, okay, you know what? We don't have to believe all these outside sources. We don't have to believe anything except what we're channeling. And we can choose in the moment to fall on our systems and that trust, because that's what all these are about. They're building this inner trust where we let go of fear and doubt and worry. I mean, that's really it. To feel good and let go of fear, doubt, and worry. To trust. When we boil it all down, that is what this system is in place for. And when we're faced with these times where we lose ourselves, where we're reacting, where we are dealing with situations that get our vibe all mixed up and we can't even think, which was me last night. Like I literally couldn't, that space when you enter sometimes and like the world is haywire and you cannot think, like you can't even hear what someone's saying, like you can't process it. I went there for a minute. So it's how fast can we bounce back? How fast can we get back to, oh yeah, wait, I know my truth. I know my soul. I know everything's going to be okay. I know that I'm going to keep living on the up. I know I'm going to keep working my ass off. I know I'm going to keep meditating and trusting and diving in. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? living outside that goes against the vows that I wrote for myself when I was 50, which those are on Instagram if you haven't read them or haven't heard them. I can read them to you. I made these vows. In fact, I haven't read them today. I'm going to read them right now. So I wrote these vows, these 12 vows to myself when I turned 50 last August. To know I can do, number one, to know I can do anything. If it's been done, there's a way, so I can. That's my attitude. 2, to love myself unconditionally all the way, no matter what. 3, to ignore the inner critics. 4, to do my best every day, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. 5, to think bigger than likes, followers, small stuff. To think about improving the world and others' lives with my ideas, my story, my openness, and my honesty. 6, to dare, to be more daring in all ways. Oh man, it's daring, isn't it? To even talk about this stuff, to face it. That's daring. 7, to be more intentional. 8, to love more wildly. Okay, that's wild love, what I was talking about earlier. That sometimes we think wild love is going to mean, oh, I just love the one I'm with so much. But I think maybe wild love can also mean, can you love your landlord when you didn't bounce the check? It's wild. It's wild. 9, to turn it all over to God, Goddess, your higher power, to forget worry and stress, and in turn, trust my higher power. Trust that it's all always in God's hands, always, and it's all taken care of. Deep breath on that one. And then number 10, to keep becoming, growing, and learning. 11, to look for the good, to look for the gratitude every moment, training myself until it's second nature. 12, to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. It is limitless. This is a threshold, and I know what to do. I've been preparing. I am prepared. Yes. You're prepared too, right? We are prepared. That's what this system is all about. That's what living a system in our lives is all about. Bouncing back, being in that space so much that it's second nature, that we can come right back to it. When Justin when he went into treatment, I guess that was, we did a podcast about it. I did several podcasts about it. I really lost myself, and I felt like I wasn't as strong in my system. And so I have consciously worked to build it up stronger since then. It's been, a year and a half? And so that is huge for me, and that's what I'm leaning on right now. Like, is it delusional? No, I don't know. I looked up the definition of delusion after I drew that card. I was like, fuck, delusion. And here, I'll just look it up again. I got my computer right in front of me. So it said a false belief or judgment, but I'm just going to say a belief or judgment about external reality held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary, occurring especially in mental conditions. I saw a meme not too long ago that was like, you have to believe in yourself so hard it's borderline delusional. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm going to. Everything is telling us to do that. Are we listening, or do we blow it off? No, I'm going to do it, right? And that's what these vows are about. And I don't believe it is delusional. I believe that we have the power. And if we keep leaning into these systems, life just keeps getting better and better. So I'm going to keep you updated on how this goes. I will. I'll put it on my story on Instagram later today, tomorrow, whatever. And I'll let you know. But it's just, I think it's just a wild ride, this life. And so are we going to do the things and create some things that we can always come back to? And that's the process I'm in. And that's what my course is. That is what it is. It is about, it's got so much in it. As I was building it, I was like, is this too much? Because I have all sorts of practices. I have practices about your lifestyle attitude, but then I have concrete practices, like, are you splashing cold water on your face every day? Which I've done for literally almost 30 years. And so there's all these micro and macro practices within it, and it's all concentrated in one space. And that's what's so great about it too, is that you have everything that I do and everything that I talk about, which all this stuff I talk about on the show, most of it anyway. There's some things in there that I haven't really talked about, but I realized I do all the time. And so those are in there too. And so everything is just right there at your fingertips. So you don't have to go searching for it through my content. You can just get it all in one concentrated place and shorten that learning curve, which is a beautiful thing. It comes with freebies too. So it's still on sale just till today, till it comes out tonight. So if you're listening to this like on Thursday, the 16th, then it comes out this evening, you can still get $50 off. If you do it after that, it's full price since $297, and it is worth every penny because it costs less than Botox. It costs less than Botox, and it's stuff that you can fall back on. You can't fall back on your Botox. What, like last night I was not going to be able to frown about that. I was frowning on the inside. Okay. Yeah. So that's the idea, right? It takes hardly any time. It's just about implementing what works for you throughout your life and telling you all these possibilities all in one place that are free and easy and don't take much time. And you can start to implement them. And really, the ball starts rolling the moment that you sign up, the moment that you go look at it, right? The moment you hit play on that first video, it starts in motion. You start showing up for yourself and mighty forces come to your aid, because that's what they say, right? Like, take action and mighty forces come to your aid. And that's attributed to Goethe, but I don't think it is. I think that's false attribution, but I digress. Anyway, I just wanted to share all this because I think that as I was editing and as I was watching, I was looking at myself, and I told Justin later, I was like, as I was looking at myself in those videos, I thought that girl, that lady, that chick in the video, she doesn't have any problems. She looks like I'm getting a little choked up thinking about this. Like, I just feel like that can be the delusion. When we look at someone and we think that they've got it all figured out, right? And I have a lot figured out. At least I've got a system figured out that's going to make me feel better and happier and more present and lean into trust. But looking at that, I really just thought, wow, she looks like she's got it all figured out. And I wanted to be her. And then I was like, wait, I am her. That's just a weird sensation, right? And sometimes we imagine or project that best self, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because that is living in that space of our best self, right? And that's what we want to get to all the time. Now, we're humans, so we're going to have those moments like I did last night. We're going to have those moments where life throws us something and we might get off balance, you know? It's like you're standing on a bosu, right? And someone throws a medicine ball at you, and you've got to find that balance again. And that's perfectly okay. That's part of it. Regaining that balance and remembering, oh yeah. And the more you do it, the more you're on that bosu, the more that, I was imagining a bosu upside down. You're standing on the flat part. And the more you do it, the stronger you get. The more you feel solid, the more you feel strong, the more you feel balanced. And the more I do too. The more I know that I can handle whatever is thrown my way. I'm not asking for more though. Trust me on that life. We're good. We're good. So, you've probably already built some systems, but can you really lean into those is the question. Are those so solid? Or do you need to go further? I'm always looking for things that can go further. I saw on someone's Instagram just this morning, and she was Echo Summerhill, and she's so cute, so cool. And she was talking about different things she does to move energy throughout her body. And one of them was sitting and shaking for 5 minutes, and it shakes out low vibrational frequencies or something like that. And I was like, well, I've never heard of that one. So what if we give it a try? And so where can we continue to learn and implement things that might work for us? I have so much in my course. You're going to find stuff that works for you and that maybe you've never thought of, just like that shaking thing. And so I might try it, right? And then it's going to push me a little bit further. It's going to push me into that growth. It's going to give me another tool in my tool belt. And that's what this is. This is tools in your tool belt. This is not looking for youthfulness and radiance in a syringe. It's not looking for it in the money that's paid to you. It's not looking for it outside yourself in any way, shape, or form. It's looking for it all within yourself, because we all have this power right here. I know it. I know it. We do. That's the great paradox. The great paradox. When you stop looking for love, that's when you find it. When you really love yourself, that's when you find it. And when you're really looking for love, you're like, that's so annoying. But it's true. It's the paradox. And the more I learn, the more I discover everything is. And the more I discover that everything's right here. So what am I going to do? How am I going to act, not react? What am I going to come back to? Belief in myself. Even when there's outside evidence to the contrary, this comes first, right? So, and it's not a delusional state. It's your truth. It's your truth. And you've been preparing for this, and you are prepared to step across that threshold into the new. I'm talking to myself too right now. I came to today just hat on, like I already worked out. And this is just, I was like, I'm recording this right now. And it feels good. It's cathartic. You know what? Talking about whatever it is cathartic. And that's one of the sections in the course, the Youthfulness Hack course, is about those connections and our relationships and opening up and getting vulnerable and really telling your truth. Because it would have been easy for me not to talk about a check, right? Like, that's a vulnerable space when we talk anything relating to money. Real money, not these people who are like, I'm making 7 figures, you know. That was rude. I shouldn't imitate it like that. I'm making 7 figures. And so, you know, we just hear a lot of that on social media, like how to do this, how to do that. And so when we get into those really vulnerable spaces where we're really talking about the real, that's where actually life starts to really open up for us. That's where we connect further, and that's where we realize that we can dive into trust and let go, right? Detach from outcome, not worry. And once again, we're back to that, like letting go of fear, letting go of fear, doubt, and worry and stress. And it's hard when it takes over. And I guess that's one of the things that I just really wanted to say. That girl in the videos, she experiences it too. Because we're human. Everyone does. Everyone does. Everyone does. No matter where they are in life. Everyone does. You're going to have those moments. But how quickly are you going to find your balance back? We can do it. I've created a system just for you. You can take what you like. You can leave the rest. I even say that in the beginning. That's part of it. Creating your own system. I've done a couple podcasts about it too. I was on Vasavi Kumar's Say It Out Loud podcast, and I even said some stuff about pleasure practice and sexuality in there that I haven't even talked about before. And so I hope you'll check that out. I'll put a link in the show notes. I really, really enjoyed it. And I have some other podcasts coming out too soon with some really, really awesome hosts. And anyway, I just want you to know how grateful I am for you. I feel like there's a core group of people that really listen to this show, and thank you for the new reviews that you've left. And thank you just for being here. Anytime you can share this with anyone too, know that I am so, so grateful. And yeah, I'm determined. I know, you know what I was thinking. I was thinking the other D word. And so I am determined, and I'm showing up. And so are you. So show up for your life. Join my course. If you want to join the course still today, remember it's $50 off. It's going to go up to the full price a little bit later this evening. And so now's your chance. And so anyway, I love you so much. And thank you again for showing up for yourself and showing up in life, just like we all are, right? Keep catching that medicine ball and finding your balance, right? Because sometimes it's a really heavy one and sometimes it's a light one, and sometimes you just go, whoa, and then you got this, right? And so what's your system like? If you need some more, I got you. It's cheap. It keeps giving. It's there forever, all for you. I love you so much. If you haven't left a review for the show and you could, I would be so grateful, because I've been trying to build those up, and it just takes a moment. Apple, Spotify, either one. Spotify, I think, is like really, I don't think I have many reviews there. So if you could leave one, that would be fantastic. And sign up for the newsletter too. It's at amyedwards.com. And of course, you can find everything at amyedwards.info. That's got links to the courses, both the free course, which is the Ageless Mindset, look younger, feel happier in less than an hour. And then that is a small segment of the full course, the Youthfulness Hack. So if you want to try it out for free, just take a peek, go for it. And if you want to check out the Youthfulness Hack, there is an intro video on there that tells you more about it too. Although you just listen to this, so you know plenty about it. And yeah, this is my life's work, y'all. And this is what I'm showing up for. And I am going to believe, damn it, I'm going to believe. And I'm going to keep surrendering and going. And I love you so much. So please check out the course, The Youthfulness Hack, The Secret System to Reverse Aging Fast and Create a New Radiant You. It's here to kickstart your progress and kickstart you into the you who you feel like you really, really are, that radiant, youthful, vibrant you. And it doesn't require a lot of time or effort or money. There are a few things in there that I talk about that if you want to buy, you can, but there's also things like free apps that you can access that can really help accelerate your growth. And so I'm just excited. If you want to look in the mirror and just start feeling better, I sure do. And I do it every day. I do it every day. I just did like 10 of the practices this morning already. And look at me. I'm showing up. I'm feeling better, right? So that's what it's all about. Showing up for life and feeling better and letting go of that fear, doubt, worry, and living happier in our hearts, bouncing back. Oh, you're a badass. Is there anything I forgot? Anything that I need to include? I don't think so. We talked about the newsletter and all that. So, yeah. I love you so much. And we have some epic shows coming up. Next week, I think, is Allison Charles. She's Rockstar Shaman. And it's really interesting. I loved our conversation. It flew by for me. And then we have a mental health conversation after that with Julie Koryath. So I've got some great stuff coming up throughout the spring. And I'm just so happy you're here. Share it with a friend if you can. And check out the course. I love you, love you, love you, love you. I really do. Reach out to me anytime too. You can always email me, amy@amyedwards.com. If you ever want to do personal coaching too, or something like that, I am so here for it. So just reach out to me, DM me. You can find me on Instagram at realamyedwards, and you can find me on TikTok at the Magic Babe. I can't wait to see you everywhere, and hopefully on the course. I love you so much. You keep at it. Yeah. Feels good, right? Until next time. This has been the Amy Edwards Show from Overcome Studios. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here. Sign up for our newsletter at amyedwards.com.